Primarily into the construction and medical sectors, Jonathan. It's where the interest lies. We have a large Australian company called Hatch coming over who are looking for 400 engineers. That's civil engineers, mechanical engineers, electrical engineers, marine engineers. And all these jobs are available if you go onto the Expo website, which is ausemploymentexpo.com. That's ausemploymentexpo.com. There are over 1,000 jobs there now that Australian employers are coming to Dublin on the 26th and 27th of November to try and fill. And that's the Expo is at the Aviva Stadium here in Dublin.
Now, when we talk about jobs like this, there's 400, as you say, with this one company alone, Hatch.
Yeah.
When people think of going to Australia, they think of setting themselves up in Sydney or in Melbourne or somewhere else that is, shall we say, at the heart of the action. Are a lot of these jobs in far-flung locations that people perhaps wouldn't factor in?
Yeah, I mean, a number of them will be working in mines, and the mining industry is all over Australia, so certain of the jobs will be on site in mines, but the vast majority of the jobs, certainly are the ones that I've seen, would be based in or near the major cities. I think the other thing to point out is that the government of West Australia are also coming over to the Expo, and they've got over 3,000 skilled migration visas available immediately. So if you have a skill set, rather than taking a job in Ireland, you want to go to Australia and look around for a job there, they have 3,000 skilled migration visas that are available immediately, and they have a lot of representatives from the government of West Australia going to be here as well.
Okay, well, they're delighted to be getting the skills in, but how long does that visa run for?
The skilled migration visas are permanent, so they basically last forever. In the normal case of events for employer-sponsored visas, they are what's called a 457 visa. They can last. They last up for 4 years, but generally speaking, at that point in time, if the employee has built up a good relationship with the company will sponsor them for permanent residency. I mean, Australia is looking to import about 150,000 people this year, right the way across various skilled disciplines. Project managers, mechanics, welders, electricians, engineers, right the way across all these disciplines. And, as I say, there's 1,000 jobs available at the Expo. All people need to do is to go on the site, look, register, and hopefully they'll find a job that they're looking for.
So essentially what is on offer here are jobs that come with effectively permanent residency and the right to work in Australia because these are particular skill sets. So these guys, once they take these jobs, I mean, the likelihood is they might not be coming back.
One never knows, when I was younger, I travelled overseas and worked overseas for 5 years, and then I came home. Everybody has their own decision to make at that point in time. But, from a family security point of view, it's not like you're moving to Australia for 1 year or maybe two. As I say, the 457 visas are 4-year visas, so you can plan some fairly firm routes down there. But Australia's not that far away. I mean, I know it's a day's travelling, but I haven't been up and down there several times recently. It's not as far away as people think.
Well, it probably is still as far away. It's just easier to get to.
Yeah.
Eamon, look, it's all very positive that there are jobs on offer here, but I mean, what appetite is there out there? Do you find people coming into you saying, look, I've tried Ireland, it breaks my heart, I have to leave? Or do you have people coming into you saying, I can't wait to get out of this place?
In the main, we are not talking to them in that they go onto our website, the event website, and that they basically look at the jobs themselves. So certainly from talking to people on the street, a lot of people love travelling. Irish people love travelling, but a lot of them are doing it because of economic necessity. And the opportunities in Australia at the moment are incredible. Having been down there recently, there's a lot of Irish people down there already. They basically mix extremely well with the locals. The Aussies and the Irish get on extremely well together. Lifestyle-wise, Australia, Sydney, Perth, Melbourne, Brisbane, all really nice cities to live in. I guarantee you that most people who'll be applying for jobs there already know a number of people who are already working down there. I know a pal of mine, for example, who's a banker, who, 56 years of age, moved his family lock, stock and barrel to Perth. And that'll just give you an example of the opportunities that are out there.
At 56?
So, at 56, yes, yeah. In the main, right now, for this particular expo, the focus is on engineers, the focus is on mechanics, welders, electricians, the trades, doctors and nurses, some IT jobs as well. people have to go on the site. There are people putting up jobs every day, and so it's hard for me to say. I mean, that 1,000 number will probably have increased to about 1,500 by the time the expo takes place.
Yeah, I see there are opportunities for the Royal Flying Doctor Service as well, so certainly that'll pique the interest of a few people over here. Just before I let you go, what kind of salaries are we talking about? Because if you are an electrician or a boiler maker or a diesel mechanic and you're on the dole, I mean, your income is obviously very, very limited, and that's probably the most attractive part of this. Is it a good wage?
Yes, salaries generally are higher than they are in Ireland, and the cost of living is lower. That excuse me, that is a generalisation, but the reality of life is that they are desperate for people out there. And so if you are properly qualified, you have your papers and you want a job, what you need to do is to look at the website. There are lots of jobs there for a vast number of different levels of employment. And if people want to consider Australia as an option, then come along to the Expo on November 26th, 27th. We're open for 2 full days there at the Aviva Stadium. And if you're thinking about moving, that's the way to do it.